Imagine all your audio entertainment available in just one place. That's what the Audible app is all about. With Audible, you can always find the best of what you love or discover something new. Audible has an incredible selection of wellness titles and originals, like The Light Podcast by Michelle Obama, Work It Out by Mel Robbins, and Confidence Gap by Russ Harris. Membership includes access to Audible originals, podcasts, and tons of audiobooks that you can download or stream as much as you want. And as an Audible member, you can choose one title per month from an ever-growing catalog of titles to keep. The Audible app makes it easy to listen anytime, anywhere, whether you're traveling, working out, doing chores, wherever your day takes you. New members can try Audible now free for 30 days. Visit audible.com/motivation or text motivation to 500-500. That's audible.com/motivation or text motivation to 500-500 to try Audible free for 30 days.
A client met his banker to discuss opening a restaurant in a busy airport. In us, he found a partner that understood the importance of reaching for the sky. First Horizon Bank. Let's find a way. Go to firsthorizon.com/Mac.
This is Full Change with Tom Laidlaw.
Here we go. Morning on this rainy, beautiful morning in Connecticut. Tom, how are you?
Beautiful morning in Connecticut. Great day to be a duck.
Your voice is a little bit scratchy there. You all right?
It's kind of sexy, isn't it? Like that deep voice. Do you think so?
Is it though?
I think so. Yeah. Kind of like Barry White.
No. Yeah. Right.
I'm like I know I told you the story, but I was at the event a couple months ago and the young kid, I think he's trying to give me a compliment. He says, "You look like Rock's grandfather."
Yes. Now you're like Barry White without soul.
What's one of his songs? Like, you're trying to be.
Wow, I don't know. I'm thinking of Lou Rawls.
Love is in the air.
I think I'm more of a Lou Rawls. I'm more of a Lou
So let me
Rawls.
see what all the things I can do. I can sing. I can do invitations, like Chewbacca.
No, please. We're just bleeding listeners as you do these.
I can do like whatever, Irish or Scottish.
No, you can't.
Australian.
One accent.
Canadian.
Well, that you can do. But you can say, "Oh,
Get out, eh?
oh,
It's going to be a big show, eh?
oh, I didn't know that." Thanks, Robbie Carr, for pointing that out. Tom says that at least once or twice an episode.
That's funny that we have those sayings, right, that you don't realize you say all the time.
Robbie Carr, listener, pointed out. He said,
So what is it? If I don't know something, I'll go,
You go, "Oh, I didn't know that."
I didn't.
There it is.
I didn't know. Yeah. So, but you notice it's genuine though. Like
It's totally genuine.
Yeah.
You know, it's fun. It's funny. I was talking to my buddy Adam Davis, who does a ton of podcasts. He has a bunch of successful ones, and he said he listened to you, and he said when someone's talking, you always check in. You're like, "Oh yeah, okay." He said he started using that in his podcast just to to let the person he's talking to know.
I think I do that consciously too, to make sure the person knows that I'm really paying attention to what they're saying.
Yes. I feel like, because when we're talking to guests and then I jump in with something and we're like, you just totally steamroll right past it. Like, that's fine. Let me talk to you, Corey Hirsch. So I appreciate that.
I do try my best to not interrupt people, because that's really annoying to me when people interrupt me when I'm talking.
I heard about that. I heard that about you. I heard you broke up with a woman because she was interrupting you.
And what a sweetheart too. But even when I told her, like, I think it's a respect thing. Listen, if you're speaking, I'm going to stop and I'm going to listen to what you're saying. So the same courtesy. And when I said that to her, she said, "Oh, that's ridiculous." She wouldn't even admit that it was really met my feelings.
What's more discourteous, interrupting or having someone say something and then just changing the subject as soon as they say that what they need to say?
Oh man, I think the interrupting is, because one thing I learned from particularly Navy SEALs, when you engage in a conversation with them, they pay attention to the conversation and listen to all the words you're saying. Once you're done, then they step in. I guess it's all like people think they have something they need to say. They don't want to forget it, right? So they're going to jump in there. But like, you don't have a memory?
No, but like I'm saying, so if I'll bring up a point, you'll just turn. That's great. Anyway.
Do I do that?
All the time.
I do not.
Yes, you do.
Really?
I don't know.
So you'll make a statement and then won't even address it.
Like, oh, that's nice. So anyway, person.
Oh, that's funny.
So I'm going to listen for that.
It is funny, right? Like things annoy me, but it's like, even like if driving, like around the highway, like I can drive 100 miles an hour, that's fine, but somebody else does it, then it's a problem.
Hypocrite.
Yeah. Look, but self-acknowledged.
Self-awareness.
Self-awareness.
Good. So we're in Connecticut, as I said earlier. It's leafy, beautiful Connecticut, rainy day. So a listener of our show, buddy of ours, Jimmy DiCepolo, was just on this whirlwind cruise with his lovely wife, Audrey, and they were and he's like, check your downloads, check this out, and we could see where they download from. So he was in like Dubai, Japan, Thailand, China. So we have all these hits coming out. He's like, yeah, I'm here now. Check it out. So
okay,
cool to
good.
see, the track as he's downloading the shows.
I want to go to Thailand. Thailand or the Philippines.
Okay, so go.
What do you think? A lot of money, though. Although I did like the flights over, like a round trip to Manila, I think it was like $2,000. But the hotels over there, because of the dollar difference, like $40 a night.
Yeah, so what's holding you back?
Good point by you.
So go.
Because I have to be here for you to help do these podcasts.
No, that's not true. You can go. We can do it from Manila.
That's true, too. I guess I could do it from now. 12-hour time difference, so like whatever we're doing here at 11 o'clock. Eastern time, it's 11 o'clock at night.
That's what we'll do. We'll make it work. We did the one with Barry Beck. He was in Hong Kong 12 hours ahead, and it worked.
That's one part of the world I've never... Well, I was in Fiji in Australia, so it was kind of in that area. Well, excuse me.
Wow, that was did you bring that back from Fiji?
Well, jazz. You're are you a vegetarian?
Yes.
You are. So like really strict with that. Like,
yeah, no meat, no fish, no milk, no egg. But there will be milk and eggs in products I eat. But no, I don't eat any red meat, any chicken, any of that stuff, any fish.
Was that a health thing that you did?
I just never liked it. My mother, God rest her soul, I never liked her cooking.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah. Sadly, and she makes this. She's Italian, and she makes this great sauce, and everybody loved it except me.
Oh,
and
so it wasn't that she was a bad cook. It's just you didn't like your food.
I can remember, Tom, right now as we speak, at 4 years old, chewing London broil at the dinner table till it was gray, and just like giving it to the dog, sticking it in my pants, throwing it on the floor. I hated it.
Yeah, that's true too. Like Brussels sprouts, asparagus. My mother used to make those, but she would boil them, I think. So the texture of it was like you choke on it.
Yeah.
So I can't eat those now. I should say can't. I put them in the air fryer now and crispy them up, the better.
You are quite the burgeoning chef. That's true.
Things, yeah, good. I made my turkey meat sauce. Very proud of it. You know, I'm learning too a lot more. Really staying away from salts and sugars and using all natural stuff like capers. Oh,
yeah. You can replace, honey replaces sugar and a lot of things too. That's great. I've tried some of your concoctions. I have to say, pretty good.
Yeah. I'm very proud of that. Yeah, especially going back to when I first got divorced and my sons were like 4 and 6 and I couldn't cook at all. Oh, I laughed telling them the old turkey dinners we used to cook. We used to get the jarred gravy and the stovetop stuffing. But it came out okay. But I've told the story many times about the giblets.
Yeah. But now we're gonna hear Coach Nate Brown from Minnesota is going to be getting on us for talking about cooking shows. He wants hockey content, but still.
Oh, okay.
Everybody has to eat.
Coach Nate Brown. Where's he coach?
He's a football coach. He's a youth football coach. Big fan from Minnesota.
And he just wants to talk about hockey. He doesn't want to.
He's like, stay away from cooking. So.
I know I mentioned it to you, and this is premature, so I don't want to say this is going to happen, but up in Roscoe, New York, we've got a potential that is a 1,000-acre, I guess you call it compound up there with the clubhouse, golf course, and they want us to go up there and put on health and wellness and fitness.
Let's do it. We're talking about to put on a great event up there.
Yeah, we can have I think right now up to 60 people. So the idea is, there's a hockey rink there, so some hockey will be part of it. But it's more, we'll get out in the morning, go for hikes, have some lectures, and talk about health and fitness and mental health.
Love it.
And we got a beautiful young woman, a beautiful person up in Binghamton, Molly Morgan. She was great name. Yeah, that's right. She was a dietitian for the Binghamton Senators up there for like 15 years. So she really liked the healthy eating and everything. So we had a good talk the other day talking about fasting and her opinions. Very knowledgeable.
Great. Yeah, this should be good. We're in the early stages of figuring out this event, but it should be something really cool.
Definitely. Yeah.
Molly Morgan, that's a great name. Today's my Molly's birthday, so happy birthday to my Molly.
How old is she?
She is 15.
And then your other daughter is
17. She's got her driver's license.
That's right, those days, yes.
She's been at it for a couple of weeks now. Wow,
she's never home.
It's harrowing. She's very respectful, but she is out the door. Yeah. Our school it's about a 3-minute walk from our house,
right? But
she drives every day to and from. So it takes her longer to get there and park than it would if she just walked. But I get it. She has her own car.
Remember those days where you had your own car?
100%.
Yeah. I didn't actually have my own car. I drove my...
You rode a donkey in the farm, right?
I was the donkey. No, we had a Chevy Nova, which is pretty cool.
Great car. Today we have a great guest. We have a classy Ranger who was a skilled player, fan favorite of the Rangers. We had number 18, Walt Tkaczuk.
Walter Tkaczuk, how are you doing there, brother?
I needed help.
That's all right. You was Justine Gresh when he first started. He was upside down in the show, so yeah, he was. It was actually kind of funny because he couldn't figure it out at all. Plowed through it though. How are you feeling?
I'm good.
Had you had a little bit of a health scare recently? I heard something like that. Is that true?
No.
Oh, okay.
Pretty lucky.
Good.
Good information there, Tom.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
The research staff is getting fired.
Okay, I've got to tell a quick story about Walt Tkaczuk. So Walt was one of the, like, if you look at him, you could not knock him down. He's like a fire hydrant out there. He was skating around training camp 100 miles an hour, and I went to Walt, and I was a rookie. I said, well, what do you do to stay in shape during the summer? He says, well, I drink a case of beer every day, Tom.
I still do.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, don't quit now. Don't quit now. The formula is working. Where are you living right now?
I'm living in St. Mary's. I've been here since 1970.
Okay, good.
Farm that we bought.
Yep, yeah. You had a miniature golf course, didn't you?
No, we converted it into a golf course.
Oh, okay.
We have 18 holes, and we actually built it ourselves. An old teammate of mine from junior, Danny Sagan.
Oh, yeah.
He played a little bit in Minnesota and Vancouver.
Sure, yeah.
And we've been living here since 1970, and we built the golf course. It's been running for now 27 years. And Danny's still here. We're working in the ditches, digging, shoveling, and we're keeping pretty active.
Wow, very good.
Wait, that's incredible. So you built your own golf course?
Well, we had there was a company up here that did the routing for the golf course. We just had to give them a topographical of the property, and then they put everything into a computer, and then the computer punches out the best layout for you, and then you go from there.
Wow, very cool.
How's your game? You got a good golf game?
No good. I played on this course probably 3 times, maybe 7 or 8 holes each time. I have a teammate of mine, Brad Park. He plays a lot of golf, and I go down and visit him in Florida every year. And he said, "How come you own a golf course and you don't like playing golf?" I said, "Some people like to play golf, and some people own golf courses. You can't do both."
There you go. Good. Where did you grow up, Walt? Where's home?
South Porcupine, Ontario, which is another 500 miles north of here.
Oh, wow.
My father was a miner up there. My brother, he became a miner, and he's retired. And his son Jonathan is now working in the mine. So if I didn't go play hockey, I probably would have been a miner, and my kids would have been miners too.
Wow, that's hard work too. Wow. What do they mine up there? Iron ore?
Gold. Mainly
Oh, wow.
Up in that area.
Huh?
Yeah.
Remember Danny Clark? Remember Danny Clark, the player? He's in that gold business.
Oh, yeah.
Mine. Yeah.
The defenseman, yeah.
Yeah, big tough kid.
Well, you were born in Germany, though, right? Then you came over to Canada?
Yeah, I was born in Germany. I came over when I was 2.5. My father came over first. And then once he had enough money, I guess he must have sent my mom some money for us to come buy a boat back to Canada.
So you, like a lot of young kids in Canada, did you start playing like 6 or 7 years old, playing hockey?
Yeah, I started about 7. Everybody had skates, and I didn't have a pair of skates. We did a lot of street hockey with the shoes, and finally my mom bought me a pair of skates from the secondhand store. I was probably 7 years old, 8 years old at the time, and she bought me a pair of skates that were size 10. She said, "I'll grow into them." And I put newspaper in the toes so that I'll go into them. I never grew into them, though.
That's funny, yeah. So people who don't know, like for me, I've a size, my shoes like 11 and a half. My skates are at 8 1/4 or something. So it's so I have a size 10 skate.
Yeah, when you got the skates, you like them pretty tight.
Now, were you a pretty good player right away?
No, I think the first pair of skates that I did get, I wore out the leather on the sides because my ankles were so weak. I was kind of running more than skating.
That's funny. Yeah.
No, I played house league right up to midget hockey. I played the house league team, not the A team or whatever. And I developed later. So some people develop early, but I developed later.
Yeah. So that's pretty interesting, right? Because the house league, everybody knows it's just, you don't travel. Like the travel teams are usually the best players on those teams. So
yeah.
Did you play junior hockey?
Yeah. So I played a house league, and then the one Kitchener Rangers up here in Canada, they were affiliated with the New York Rangers, And they said, well, we're going to call you up here just for a little tryout for the B team, but you're not staying. You're just going to come to see how it is. Following year, we're going to invite you. I went to camp, and they said, maybe we'll keep you, but you'll only be playing on the fourth line and, get some experience. And by the end of that first year, I was playing full time. So B team, and then after that, I went with the Kitchener Rangers, who were affiliated with the New York Rangers.
Right. And so the draft at that time, was it a 20-year-old NHL draft? Or was there either draft?
The year I came in, there was no draft.
Oh, that's right.
The Rangers basically owned, the New York Rangers owned the Kitchener Rangers. Peterborough was sponsored by Montreal Canadiens. St. Catharines was sponsored by Chicago Blackhawks. The junior team was sponsored by the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Wow, that's right too. I forgot about all that. Yeah. So how'd your junior career go?
We never won the Memorial Cup. We had some good years, but we just didn't make it. But yeah, it was a good good players we played with in Kitchener. There was Mike Robitaille, Jim Kurlicki. He played with Detroit a little bit. There was a few players that made the NHL from the team.
Right. And then how old were you when you came to the Rangers?
I think it was 20 when I came up there, Dave. I came up the year before when I was playing junior. We got knocked out, and so I played in Old Madison Square Gardens.
Oh wow, yeah.
And then the following year, I played in the New Gardens. Right. What happened was we had training camp here in Kitchener, and the Rangers were there, so we had the camp there. Then Emile Francis says, "Well, we're going to send you down to Buffalo." It was the Buffalo Bisons there, American Hockey League, and Brad Park was also there. So we were both sent down to Buffalo. Freddie Shearer was the coach that time.
Wow.
And we played about 7 games. And then Emile Francis, the cat, calls me up and says, "Pack your bags for 10 days because Orland Kurdenbach's got a bad back, and you'll stick here for the next 10 days till he gets better." So I packed my only bag I had, my only overcoat, my only pair of shoes, and I ended up staying there for the next 15 years.
Wow, that's something. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And how many teams were in the league at that point?
10. I think it went from 6. The following year was 6. I think it went from 6 to 10, or was it 6 to 8 to 10?
Yeah, it went to 12, I think. Yeah, there's those 2 16 divisions. Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that went. Yeah. So it was 12.
So for me, there's 21 teams the whole time I played. It's hard to believe now there's 32 teams in the league, right?
And growing.
Yeah.
They're going to get 36.
Well, they're drawing now from a bigger area.
Yeah.
Before it was mostly Canadians and Americans. Now it's the whole world.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of elite players.
Oh, yeah. I know. The skill level is unbelievable, Wolf? I mean, it's such a different game, too.
Well, you had some great success pretty early. You guys went to the Cup in 72. Do you want to talk about like your early start with the Rangers?
Yeah. We had a great team, a really good team. There were some other teams out there that were really good also. And we were there, I think, a couple of times. And probably what happened was we had some major injuries at the wrong time. I think it was whether it was 72 or one of the other years. John Rattel was leading. He was Rod Gilbert, Rattel, Hatfield were the number one line, the gag line. Rattel was leading in the scoring, and then he gets hurt in practice. A puck hits him in the ankle, and we lose him for the playoffs. And and then another time the GOAT Dale Rolfe, we lost him. But I guess all the other teams have the same issues.
Yeah.
They have injuries, and you just got to play through them. And we didn't get there.
Where did you guys practice when you played with the Rangers? I know part of the time was at Playland up in Rydie or
Long Beach, right?
Yeah, New Hyde Park there, New Hyde Park.
Right.
We in the early days it was New Hyde Park. We everybody lived in Long Beach, New York, and to go to Hyde Park was about 45 minutes.
Oh,
And then after that, they built a place in Long Beach. We practiced there. And then it was Ride New York later on in the late 70s, I guess.
Well, I know for me, I grew up in Brampton, Ontario on the farm, went to the small school up in northern Michigan. So when I first came to New York, I was like, what is going on? Like, it was just to get used to living in New York. Are you like that too when you came here?
Oh, yeah. Like the first few weeks you were all looking around. And then all of a sudden it was part of you. You grow into it. And I was a roommate with Brad Park at the time. And we had a place in Long Beach. We had a 3-bedroom place right on the beach, and it cost Brad $66 a month, me $66 a month, and the Rangers picked up $66 a month.
That's funny. That's funny, yeah. And I mean this with due respect to Brad Park. He can talk about hockey, can't he? He loves talking.
Oh, yeah. He loves talking about hockey.
Well, look, he's number 2 defenseman for the Rangers. Obviously, that's a connection there. You can certainly talk.
Yeah, well, you probably remember me when I first came in as that quiet kid. I can't stop talking now. I talk all day long. Yeah.
Well, I was curious. Walt retired in 1981, which coincidentally is your rookie year. So is there a reason? Is that why you quit, Walt? Because Tom came in?
You know the reason why?
I was afraid he was taking my job. So
Yeah. The best beer drinker on the team.
Yeah, take over my job. Right?
Yeah, there you go. So you had 15 seasons. So you got my rookie year come in, and you get hit in the eye with a puck or is it a stick?
A puck. Yeah, I got hit in the eye.
That's right. I remember right in front of a bench too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of deflected up and it went right up and up.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Did you know at the time that it was that bad? You have to retire, or did you?
I didn't think so at the beginning, but I remember getting hit in the eye, going into the dressing room, and looking, and my sight. There's something wrong. Because I can see out of one eye and I can't see out of the other.
Right.
Boy, there's something the matter here. And of course, the doctors in there looking at you, and then they probably knew before I did that there was a major problem. Right. And I went to Lenox Hill Hospital, and that night, 1, 2 in the morning, whatever time it was, and there was about 6 or 7 doctors there, a lot of young doctors, and the main doctor, and all these doctors were looking at my eye. And at the end, the head doctor said, "What did you see? What did you see?" I guess they were getting educated on my eye. And then what they wanted to do is get rid of all the fluid out of my eye, or the back of my eye. And they put me on some kind of pills to do that. And I had to go on them gradually. And then I got to a certain point, and then I had to go off them gradually. I don't even know what pills they were.
Right.
But I remember being in the living room with 2 kids running around, jumping around. And my wife, Valerie, says, "Tell those kids to relax. They're making too much racket." I said, "Oh, no, they're okay." So I must have been somewhere else.
Oh, yeah. So did you ever get surgery on the eye?
No. What it was is it was like a big scar tissue or a big stain at the back of your eye.
Oh.
And that's what it was. It's like a big, and they wanted to get rid of the fluid or blood or whatever, and they couldn't get rid of it.
Oh.
And they told me at Lenox Hill after, when I left to come back to Canada, they said, "Well, when you go back to Canada, in another 5 or 6 years, go and get a check. They might do some research on that part of the eye." And I went back, and they said, "No." He says, "There's not that many people with that type of a problem."
Right.
So they're not really interested in that. They need work on something that has a lot of problems and solve a lot of people's issues.
Right. Uh-huh. So do you have sight in the eye now?
No, the same eyes. It's been the same ever since.
Wow. So you never played after that, did you?
No, that was the end of it.
Wow. So you remember I represented that Brian Berard that was playing for the Leafs and lost it. Kind of had a similar injury.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but many years past that, he had a fully detached retina, and we found it really, we found it really good. Yeah, but they put the retina, pretty much back where it was, but still his sight is very limited as well. So no thoughts of ever coming back trying to play.
No,
yeah.
it's hard. it's fun just watching him go.
Yeah.
He owned a farm and he owned a golf course, so he had everything laid out in front of you.
I'll tell you what, Walt, you were one of those guys, like when you come in as a rookie in the league, I don't know how you were, but for me, like there's certain guys, you were one of those guys like, man, I really want to get to be buddies with Walt Tkaczuk. He's a fun-loving guy. Like he was Mr. Intensity. He was on the ice, but he loved the game. He loved having fun in the locker room. Do you recall the initiation of Chris Katsopoulos?
Just thinking, there was a few guys. I'm not sure.
Well, just so everybody knows, this doesn't.
Is that only restaurant?
No, it was in the locker room with Rye Playland.
Oh, okay.
Because when you come in as a rookie, you're supposed to like respect the older players, sit there in the corner, keep your mouth shut, carry the bags, all that. Kotze couldn't figure that out.
Right.
Kotze kind of.
He had to put his 2 cents in.
Yeah.
And he still does.
Yeah, totally. Yes. Yeah. Because I remember Walt saying to him a few times, "We're going to get you. We're going to get you."
Oh, really?
Well, that was one of the things. They made me sit there and watch him initiate him. And they had him tied in the, he's got the Greek body. He had the big Greek body with all the boils. He's tied to the table.
And they shaved him?
Oh, they did more to shave him. Yeah, they did.
Makes a few marks.
Oh, they had his, so he's tied down so he can't move.
Yeah, Walt Tkaczuk explained this to us on the show.
Yeah.
That you had the skate lace tied around his junk over the.
Yeah. So if he moved at all, he was going to rip his penis off.
Yeah.
And then I'm pretty sure it was Steve Vickers urinated in the cup so Kotze could see it. And then he went and dumped out the urine, but he put warm water into the cup. So Kotze doesn't know there's warm water. He thinks it's urine. And then he held his nose and poured it in his throat. Oh, he thinks it's urine getting poured. Yeah. And he was squirming around. But again, I couldn't laugh because I think if I'm laughing,
you're Laidlaw get on the table.
God. And then you guys started whistling the Gillette song. There was a Gillette song that they had. I can't remember what it was. And they're looking at me. And I'm almost positive, well, you came over to me and said, "Are you going to talk anymore this year?" I said, "No, I am not talking. I'm not talking."
Wow.
That was funny.
But that obviously doesn't happen anymore with that. But that was a rite of passage when you were a rookie.
Yeah.
Right?
And you look back at it, it's just, I think one of those things. Walt, did you ever get shaved or initiated?
Yeah, I did. At the Hyde Park, the Reggie Fleming and that bunch of guys. Yeah.
Right.
So I went through it too. So everybody pretty well did.
It's weird, right? Because you look back, like, how did it all start and why we were doing it? But it was just everybody had it done to them. So they were doing it the next day. One time.
But you avoided it, Tom. So good for you.
I kept my mouth shut after watching Kotze. I think they tortured me. They tortured me mentally. Yeah.
But Duguay didn't keep his mouth shut. They got him too.
Yeah, I don't think it mattered with Dukes, right? Did you participate in that one too? The Dukes, you get shaved his head?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I forget all the stuff I don't want to remember.
I know, right? Convenient memory loss. Yeah.
Well, how about? Do you remember the '79 Stanley Cup and the upset of the Islanders in the semifinal?
Yeah, we had a good team there too. John Davidson stood on his head. It's too bad he had a bad back, bad knees, bad everything else, and he was just fantastic for us.
Right.
That was a good shot. And there was I was disappointed in a couple of things that happened in that series with Montreal. I'm not going to elaborate too much. But there were some people that should have taken care of themselves a little better in the playoffs. And Tom, you were there then?
No, I came in 2 years later. So I came in 80, 81 was my first year.
Okay, so there was some people that really didn't do the right thing for the team.
Wow.
And you know what it is, that a team, if you have any weak links, it makes a difference. So you have to everybody playing right to their ability, and but anyway, that's a memory. I remember. That's what I remember about that series was that particular thing. I don't remember any real actual things that happened on the ice, but I remember the stuff that happened off the ice that probably cost us that.
Well, Walt, Phil Esposito famously said that you guys were watching to see who would win, Boston or Montreal. He was like, "Please let it be Boston. I don't want these kids going to Montreal because Montreal has a reputation of being party city." And apparently that's what you're alluding to.
Well, and I mean, this is a good way towards Walt too, because Walt had his fun, like we all did. But I love hearing that from you, that you realized, if you want to win the cup, you've got to make some sacrifices.
Yep.
You can't.
Well, that's right. And they make you have to make sacrifices off the ice and you
Yeah.
make sacrifice on the ice. It's the whole thing.
Well, that's interesting hearing you say that. And I mean, again, in a good way that, because you can see everybody getting wrapped up, a bunch of young guys, right? And I'm not just blaming the young guys, but it's,
Yeah.
Stanley Cup, going to the Stanley Cup finals. It's, Studio 54 is going and all that stuff. So,
And now you're in Montreal. Crazy Montreal.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so things are good here. We have a golf course. It's quite busy. We have our clubhouse does a lot of functions, weddings, anniversaries, celebration of lives. So we got a lot of moving parts. We just recently, about last year, we bought a fishing camp up in Northern Ontario.
Wow.
And I go up there once a month for a week, every month through the summer. And there's bear hunting up there, moose hunting.
Wow.
And the name of the camp is, if you want to look online, and it's White Moose Wilderness Outpost.
Good.
Show you pictures of it and everything else. It's that's what I love doing, is being out fishing.
Right.
Well, I don't hunt.
And so other people can go up and stay at the lodge, correct?
Oh yeah, we have about 8 cabins.
Oh,
there.
nice.
We rent out a lot of people from Michigan. It's only about a 6-8 hour ride from Michigan, and all the guys from Michigan, the hunters, go there for bear hunting.
Cool.
And they got a few big ones this year. Moose hunting also.
Right.
What's the name of the golf course, Walt?
River Valley Golf and Country Club.
Wow. Walt Tkaczuk owning a golf course, man, that's something.
And another ball.
Yeah. Well, neither does Tom. So perfect.
No,
I know. Terrible.
I go to some fundraisers for golfing.
Yeah.
And you'll be in groups of 4 or 5. And before I start, I tell the foursome that I'm with, I'll say, listen, I'm shooting last on the drive. And I'm hoping that one of those 4 guys will have one sweet one out there. And if they do, I'll say, that's good enough for me.
That's funny. I went to one golf course and I didn't hit the ball at all. And then finally the last hole was like a 30-foot putt. And they were begging me, come on, Tom, take one shot. So I got all cocky and I'm like, okay, this is how you do it. You line it up, So I sunk the putt too, like a 30-foot.
No way.
I didn't know what I was doing at all.
Wow.
Well, you got into coaching for a little bit after you hurt your eye, correct?
Well, yes, so I was on a contract with the Rangers. I still had a couple of years left.
Right.
So when I got hurt, I would stand between the benches, the Ranger bench and the visitors bench, and Craig Patrick, who was general manager and coach at the time. After about a week or so, he said, you want to do some work with the Rangers? I said, yeah, what do you want me to do? He said, why don't you do some pre-scouting? And I said, okay. So he sent me to Toronto because we were going to be playing Toronto. And they had me way up in the bleachers so high I couldn't even see what the hell was going on with my one eye on. So I give him the list of the lineup. So we playing the next time, and Craig Patrick says to me, what happened here? He said, the lineup is all different. I said, well, Dan Maloney got injured, so they must have shuffled their lines up. I said, but we know how to forecheck and how to back check. I said, and then after that, I said, I can't do that. I can't see that far. Right. So I went back between the 2 benches, and Craig Patrick comes back to me and he says, why don't you come behind the bench and just stand there? I said, what do you want me to do? He said, just if you see somebody do something or you want to help somebody, just talk to him. I said, okay. And he's behind the bench and I'm looking, and so I see things, maybe a winger's letting his winger go and not holding on to him a little. I think, I've got to stay with him a little longer so the defense have a shot at this. And then that went on for like 3 or 4 games. Craig Patrick says to me, why don't you change the defense and I'll change the forwards? And I said, okay. And my thing, when I played as a hockey player, when I went on the ice to play against another team, I really didn't pay that much attention to the forwards I was against.
Right.
I was looking at the defense to see where the weak spots were or where I was going to break in. So when I changed the defense, I made sure my strong defense were against their strong forwards. Sure. That's the way I looked at it. So then after a number of games, Craig says, I'll change the defense, you change the forwards. I said, okay. So we did that for the whole end of that year. And he said at the end of the year, he says, Walter, he said, Herb Brooks, they won the gold, the U.S. gold. So he said, Herb Brooks is coming in next year. He said, I can't hire you. He has to hire you if he wants you. So you can have an interview with Herb. So I talked with Herb there, and he says, yeah, you're in. So I coached with Herb Brooks for a couple of years.
That's right.
And then after that, I came back home.
Yeah. We had that Europe. So you were coaching that good run we had, 80-81, right? We beat LA and St. Louis and ultimately lost to the Islanders. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun. That was my first year too. I was thinking about this is going to happen every year, right? We're going to semifinals.
Yeah. I think a lot of players, if they get too much success at the beginning, the first year and after that, they think it's going to happen every year. It doesn't happen every year. So
That's
really
true.
Case in point.
Yeah. Yeah, is that true? Yeah, like it's so much fun too. Like playing in the playoffs, it's getting warmer outside. You don't have to practice as much, and now you're getting down to the point where there's only 4 teams left. That was pretty cool. Yeah.
Walt, I want to know if you're aware of that your name is all over the place now because of Keith Tkachuk, and that his nickname is actually Walt, and now it's Big Walt.
No.
You didn't know that?
No, I've heard about it. Yeah. I here at the golf course, I have guys coming in and say, "Oh, your son's playing," and I said, "No, I said he's not a Boston, his father." But I laughed because there was a guy came in here from London, and Keith Tkachuk lived he was boarding at that house.
Oh,
and he was telling me about his father Keith, about his nickname being Walt, and he said, "I've never met me yet."
Yeah.
So one day we may meet.
That's a pretty good honor to have your the guy named after you, right?
Yeah. Everyone calls him Walt. Big Walt. Yeah.
He's big too. He's packing out some pounds.
I saw him on television when he went to see his kids play.
Yeah. He got stung by that big bee. He's allergic to the bee stings.
He's got two. He's got two NHL stud sons.
Oh, I know. They're good players too. Yeah, good players. Did your boys play hockey at all?
No. They never got into it.
Yeah. They're too smart.
So the one wasn't really a big boy, and he had a lot of energy. And my wife said, "You got to see Michael. He's really good out there." And I didn't go to a lot of games, and I went and watched him play this particular game. And she says, "Didn't he play well?" I said, "Yeah, he really played well." I said, "Just let him enjoy the game."
Right.
She got mad at me because I didn't say he was great or anything else.
Yeah,
Just let him enjoy the game.
I know. Isn't that right when you're a player? There's a lot of guys, though, who have sons that play in the NHL, or their father played in the NHL, and now the sons are playing too. But I never really, with my kids, I want them to be a whole lot smarter than I was. So,
well, your one son became a goalie, so he didn't have to listen to you tell about playing defense.
Yeah, he's a goalie. So I was always trying to teach him to get out of the blue paint, cut the angles down. But it was also like a metaphor for life, get out of your comfort zone. And so I would tell him, get out of the blue paint. He never listened to me. All of a sudden, this random coach came on the ice and told me, Shane was his name, says, "Shane, get out of the blue paint." So he does it. He wouldn't listen to me.
Right.
I guess that's the way kids are with their fathers, right?
Like apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Yeah, that's true.
Walter, we wanted to ask you about the story we were told. We had Rob Burnett on the show. He's the executive producer of David Letterman's show.
Yes.
And he said the treasured item in his life was when he was a little boy, you gave him a stick at the Garden. And he said he had it in his office at Letterman, and they created another TV show. And he said he always had this stick above his desk, Walt Tkaczuk's game used stick.
That's right.
And then someone stole it.
Oh, you're kidding.
And he said somehow his staff wrote to your family, and then you sent him another stick.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool story. That it meant so much to him too. It was like his treasure for him.
Still to this day, years later, he still says that's like his prized thing. That whole situation just like really hits him in his heart.
That's what I forgot about that. It was really cool that he was kind of good that he lost or got stolen, and then you gave him another one that made the story even better. Right? Yeah, that's cool.
It's funny when you say people steal stuff. It's like I had my first contract that I signed with the Rangers. That was 69, 70, I guess it was. And I put it in a frame, and I was in a drawer not doing anything. So I put it in the frame, and I put it on the wall so people could see it, NHL contract. And it disappeared.
Oh, is that right? Probably somebody sold it. Yeah, Tom, I was telling the story to Tom here about how I was on the All-Star ballot one year. It was 86, 87, right? That was the worst year I ever had in my life. It was weirded out. I was like, God, if I have to play in the All-Star game, that's a disaster. But Tom actually got.
It's been a week year.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of guys got hurt.
Ouch! Wow.
Oh, Walt's good for the zingers. I'll tell you. The locker when you come in, Walt kid, the locker room lighted up when Walt was in there. We had a lot of fun.
So that's like a man after your heart because that's what you took over that.
Well, what's funny is, like I said, when you come in the first, you're kind of quiet. You know to mind your P's and Q's, and then you sit there and listen to Walt and all the other guys laugh and have fun. So yeah, once the old guys move out a little bit, now you can get going.
Walt, were you a good chirper on the ice?
No, I didn't do a lot of that.
Yeah. Oh, and that's the thing with Walt. So Walt would be like having tons of fun right up to game time. Time to go on the ice and play the game, he was Mr. Intensity. I remember watching that about him, like that's cool, like that, because you didn't get yourself all nervous and everything in the locker room. Didn't seem like to me.
It was too serious of a time. I remember playing when we were really pissed off at each other, like let's say us and Boston Bruins. It was really a tough time. You're going to be coming out of that game sore somewhere.
Right.
And then I remember one instance we're in Boston, and I'm in front of Nathan Esposito's there, and he's yapping and chirping. I said, "Why don't you just shut up and play hockey?" Because I didn't want to talk. I just wanted to talk what you play.
Yeah, that's true. He really changed once the game got going, because off the ice in the locker room and practices and everything, he was having a ton of fun. Yeah, I always tried to hit Walt too. Like he was like a rock out there. I was like, God, he's strong. Like I thought I was a big, tough, strong kid.
But I couldn't skate. They told me I couldn't skate in junior all the way up, and then I couldn't skate and I couldn't shoot. And then as soon as I played NHL, they never said anything about my skating.
Yeah,
probably still bad, but they had other things to talk about.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the 227 goals you scored.
Is that what we got? 227. Wow. Good job.
200 more than you, Tom.
Yeah. 201. Hey, Walt, listen, I really mean this when I say it. Like, you were one of those guys when I came in as a rookie. It's like you don't know what to expect, and what are the old guys doing? And you were just, I just enjoyed being around you because, it's like I said, you had fun playing the game at practice and even going up to the game time. But once game time started, man, you were all business. And I enjoyed really watching that and learning from you for that too. So thank you very much for that.
Okay, you're welcome. I remember also I enjoyed in practice trying to knock your buddies on their butts.
And that's true too. It's like, it's just like the way you stood there too. It's like a fire hydrant. It's like, God, I was getting so mad sometimes. I thought I was Mr. Tough Guy and knock you over. So, well, Walt, it's great to see you again. I'm glad things are really going well for you and your family at the golf course and the lodge and everything you've got going. Can you just tell us one more time the name of the lodge?
It's White Moose Wilderness Outpost.
Okay. And if somebody wants to go up there, Walt, can they go online to find?
Yeah, they'll have all the information. They'll have pictures. There was actually one a girl. I'm saying an older girl. She was 82. This year, she had never gotten a bear.
Oh,
and she went up there this year and she got her first bear.
Nice.
And she was out of Michigan.
Nice.
And if they go online, they'll see her picture. I think they might have her picture there with her first bear.
That's cool. That's very cool. And again, the name of your golf course is what? River
Valley Golf and Country Club.
Very cool. Very cool. Hey, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it very much. And again, it is great to see you again, Walt. I'm glad you're doing well.
Great. Nice talking to both Toms.
All right. See you, brother.
Thanks, Walt.
Bye.
Hey, so Tom, what a great episode with someone, a mentor. Well, I guess he was a mentor because I didn't know he was that funny.
And he was kind of calm there today. When he's in the locker room, I guess I think about it more. And you touched on it when we do the show. That's how maybe I learned from him.
Yeah. You came in, you were the new wise ass, right? When you came in?
Yeah, but I learned. It was good seeing him again because I learned he was one of the guys that he kind of looked at you sometimes. You were talking too much, and he did it in a kind of funny way. But there was that old school theory that the young kids come in. Yeah,
Brooke, shut that up.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. When they shaved Gotze, they initiated him. I remember him looking at me. Are you going to talk anymore?
It's amazing that you avoided though, because they got Kasopoulos, they got Duguay. Who else did they get? Don Maloney, or did Dave not let that happen?
They got Mike Allison. I remember Don Maloney. I don't think they got him.
He had a brother on the team.
Yeah, true. We got. It's funny looking back at that whole initiation thing too. How what was the point? But he talked about it. He got initiated, so it was just like right past everybody got it done. But great to see him again. He was one of those. Everybody. Man, was he funny? You want to be around him because he had that. But again, when it came game time, he showed up like he was a totally different guy on the ice, all business.
Very good player. 15-year career with just the Rangers, which is awesome.
And would have played longer if not got hit in the eye too.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I just didn't know.
That was me. I wasn't aware that he got. I was a little kid, but he got hurt by an eye injury.
He was a good coach too. I guess he just didn't want to coach him. He got so much stuff going on the golf course and the lodge. He's got going on. So.
Yeah, the guy owns a golf course.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people do you know that can say they own a golf course?
And he hates golfing.
And he hates golf. Right.
So I can own a golf course. Yeah.
So you can get out there. But you guys you both shoot like 300.
Oh, what a terrible game that is. No patience. I don't get any enjoyment out of it whatsoever.
It's a love-hate. I think you basically play whole 18 holes, 5-hour day for one good shot. And if it comes toward the end of the day, you're like, all right, I can do this again.
Yeah, the whole concept's like the whole etiquette thing, and you're, oh God.
Yeah, and you're not really one for etiquette.
No. And then like if I don't do it well, I want to do it harder the next time. Then that's the worst thing to do with golf.
So when was the last time you were on a golf course? Was it the Ranger alumni event?
No, we had a golf event I went to over in Ramapo, New York.
Okay.
Youth hockey organization. Gary Dorkowitz.
That was North Rockland. Gary Dorkowitz. Yeah. Yep. Gary Dorkowitz.
Yeah. So I stay at one hole, and everybody comes around, and we greet, meet, and talk, and chat, and make fun of them. And I do tell them right away, listen, I'm chirping you. I don't know how to play golf.
So wait, so your job is you're going to stay at the 8th hole, and when they come by, just chirp them.
Yeah, like if they make so the big one. There's a few guys that weren't that good at golfers at this tournament, but they were having fun anyways. And they did a bad shot, and guys squibble on the ground or whatever. I said, no, you're getting your money's worth out of the golf course here. You're hitting every green grass around.
Oh boy, look at you, just going at these guys.
Oh, totally, yeah. But I tell them in advance. I said, listen, I'm going to be chirping you, so
it's part of the show.
Yeah. And then I guess it's a group of guys. You got to be careful who it is, but these guys seem to be for that. Wanted that, so it's
good. There's a site. I forget what it's called. Golf for Jason. Anyway, it's a social media site, and they just chirp guys as they golf. They actually think they got Trump too. Like they've do famous people, famous golfers. They just chirp the shit out of them, and it's pretty funny.
There's some great videos out there too. And I was making fun of Larry Melnick in the past of out there drinking, and the guys are drinking falling down off.
Oh, some people get just polluted.
I know, right? Doesn't that seem to be the thing? Yeah.
Especially at those events, those charity events, they get hammered. And it's like, if you're just like slurring and stumbling, why are you even playing golf at that point?
We had one guy fell out of the cart one time. He was reaching over to try to grab the ball, and he was hammered. It just kept
going.
It's so funny to watch, dude. It's good.
Yeah, I don't know how you could do that or play golf or hockey or any sport. Well, I guess golf because you're sitting so much. And it's kind of passive, kind of boring.
Have you ever had a few beers and then play hockey?
No, never.
Yeah, I don't think I ever have.
Never. I played with a lot of guys who had smoked pot before they played.
Oh, really?
And when they didn't play, shout out to Brian Noble and Kip Brano.
When they didn't smoke pot?
But they didn't smoke pot, sorry. Wow. Yes. They felt off before those games. But then when they did, they felt calm. They were in the zone. They felt that, the year we won the National Roller Hockey Championship, 2007, those guys smoked before every game.
I had a old college teammate, Jerry Schaefer, great guy, with big hitter. And he would smoke pot when he studied. And then he couldn't take the test again unless he was stoned taking the test.
So he couldn't remember. He just he had to do it all over. See, now what happened there was we had an exchange. I said something, you changed the subject. Now you told me, and I'm talking about your friend who couldn't take the test. See, I'm staying on what you said.
But I'm still it's still a smoking pot story. It's still the same topic.
It's related to it, but it's totally turned a different direction.
Okay, so your story.
Oh, so you did that.
So your story was about two guys smoking pot and they couldn't play unless they were smoking pot again.
Correct.
So what would you want my response to be then? Like what should have been the proper response?
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh. No, you would say that.
But I wouldn't. How would I know that? Because of your friends.
You wouldn't know that. That's true. But you could just say, you know what? That's interesting. You say that, Tom, because I have a friend named Jerry.
So I should have thrown in there that's interesting because I have a friend, Jerry.
Transition. Yes, it's a smooth transition. Yes, into the next.
I am not smooth. Nothing about me is smooth.
Well, your head is smooth, and your skin is smooth. You have listen. I say it all the time. You have very nice skin.
Skincare. Yeah, Ron Duguay taught me that. Yeah, I was used to laugh at Ron Duguay, like he'd take care of his hair, his skin. I was like, what's the thing? But then he was really smart. He'd be a branding expert.
Sure.
Took care of himself.
Say what you will about Duguay. Yeah. He's a good looking guy and he takes care of himself and he's in great shape and he looks, for his age, he looks great.
He's very aware of his brand and he was very aware at an early age too of what his brand was. A good looking guy, good athlete, and it served him well.
Good for him.
Mr. Sarah Palin.
Let's get him back. We got to get him back on. He was on episode 5 or 4.
We got to get Sarah Palin on.
We should see if dudes and her. Yeah. That'd be a show, especially with an election coming up in a year or so.
Right.
Things going on.
An election coming up? What?
Did you say? I said election.
Oh, election. Sorry, I thought you said election. You were talking about Sarah Palin.
Wow, Dukes. I apologize for your former teammate there.
Oh, he's fine. He doesn't bother him.
Well, let's see. We'll try. We'll get him back on again for a new show.
But we can't. Let's have Sarah on just by herself. We don't want her in.
See if she'll do it. Well, you have to reach out to Dukes to see if she'll do it.
Yeah,
she is a hockey mom.
Yeah, you know the great thing about those two being together. We talked about this before. When they travel,
here we go.
Less baggage, right? Because they use the same hair care products, same makeup, probably, and everything.
Wow,
right?
Harsh,
isn't it?
Yeah, you wore makeup. You were you were a color guy. Oh, you were a radio guy.
That was required because it was on TV. When we were on Amazon, I had
That's Eton Levine's show.
That is the makeup thing. I did go for a period of time there where I'd say, no, I'm not letting them put makeup on them.
So like, it's makeup. Who cares?
I know. But then you're walking around.
Because they were threatening your manhood, though, and you were,
there's
before you were involved.
Well, I also thought that I was going to be Mr. Tough Guy. Everybody else just says, yeah, I'll put the makeup on.
No, I'm not wearing makeup. Makeup's for sissies. Yeah. I'm a farm boy from Canada.
I make my own hummus now. My boys give me a hard time. They said, hummus? Who eats hummus? Like,
that's a 360 or a 180, actually.
Yeah.
But having said that, though, your hummus is pretty good.
Pretty good.
Tried it.
Pretty good.
Your hummus is very good.
Very, very healthy. It's got peppers in it, spinach,
it is
chia seeds, quinoa. Oh, my goodness. I got to go in phases, though. Like, I'll have sometimes where there's a lot of hummus I'm making, and then I'll go for a phase where I get away from that, maybe a lot of guacamole.
Guacamole's great. But I did say, I worked out for one day. I think I had strep, and you were like, I want you to try this. This is ginger and turmeric and something else. I forget what else was it. And man, the ginger was spicy. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, every day. So I have a juicer. So I get ginger root, the real stuff, put in the juicer, make up a batch. And then at Costco, you get a nice liquid turmeric. It's got curcumin in it because
that's very good for you.
So I guess turmeric doesn't digest well into your system, so you have to have the curcumin.
It kind of activates it,
or black pepper.
Black pepper does that, or cayenne. So here's what I did today: I make a smoothie every morning, and I put turmeric and cayenne pepper, and they look very similar in powder form. They're both kind of orange, so I put a tiny bit of cayenne pepper and a lot of turmeric, but I flipped it today.
Was that a good transition on your part there? You went from me talking about my ginger and turmeric.
I did. I said, funny you should say that because
you just say funny.
So I did.
We're gonna have to go to the replay.
You can't go to the replay, but I just added on to what you said. I added value to what you had said.
So suppose when I add value, then I've said it incorrectly.
No, if it was you and I, you would have said, well, when I make a smoothie, but I gave you a little prop there,
I don't think
that's it. We'll see. Please tell us. Thanks for listening. Walt Tkaczuk was great.
Yes, he was. Chewbacca. No, everybody, Chewbacca is really not in the studio. That's just me doing an imitation.
Wow.
Okay. All right, grasshoppers. Thank you for listening. We had a fantastic show. We'll see you next time.